p.m. DJ Tuesday on the Morning Drive. SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Looking around the house, hidden behind the window and the door.
11 minutes away from another installment of Behind the Wheel with Joey Logano. Joey will be chatting with us and visiting with you for the 9 a.m. Eastern hour here on this Tuesday, March 28th. Hey, Pete?
Yes.
What is today?
Today, Bagman, is Tuesday, March 28th, 2023.
Today is American Diabetes Association Alert Day.
All right. A lot of people out there. Get out there and take care of yourself, Wilford. Thank you.
Right. Got to watch the intake. Got to be careful about what you do there, what you ingest, what you take in. Want to get those A1C numbers up, that daily glucose number up.
You like golf, Mr. Kramer? You like golf, Mr. Kramer?
Wilford Brimley, the spokesperson for diabetes.
Yes. Yes.
How did he land that? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I mean, I'm sure he has diabetes, but like, was it like Wilford? That guy.
Remember, he is also he used to be the spokesperson for Quaker Oats. Oatmeal is something very good to eat if you have diabetes for breakfast in the morning.
Oh,
really?
Now,
just don't load it up with 18 pounds of sugar and brown sugar and all that stuff. Cinnamon is a diabetic's best friend as well. Janet Jackson talks and Herb Albert talk about how diamonds are a girl's best friend. Cinnamon is the best friend of diabetics.
Well, being the diabetic spokesperson is really a sweet deal. It really is.
Will you stop? Because listen, diabetics want sweet stuff. That's why we got ourselves into this to begin with. We got too much going on. Now you got to limit that out. There are I went to diabetes school. They showed you how to eat, like teach you what to eat and all that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that is a no-no, like you think you're eating vegetables. Any vegetable that if you put between your thumb and your index finger and when you push it, it makes a paste, you do not eat as a diet. Like peas.
Really?
Peas are awful for diabetics. Things like that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. They taught you how to read labels when you go to the grocery store. Oh, yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Well, my sister had that dinner party. We have somebody who's diabetic. We have somebody who's gluten-free. It's like, my goodness. It's like, what do you do with all these people? Order out. That's what I would do.
Today is a similar but unrelated acknowledgement. National Triglycerides Day is today. My triglycerides are spectacular right now.
And they're real.
They are.
Really?
And they are real and they are spectacular. My doctor is amazed. He's like, your triglycerides are phenomenal. Like,
I don't even know what my number. Is there a number attached to that? How do you know that?
I would have to look at that. I know the A1C number, but see, there's good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, then you got your triglycerides.
Yeah.
And
right.
I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Yeah. I had a little bit of a cholesterol issue last time. Got to bring that down a little bit.
Petey. Not good.
Easy.
All right, here we go. On this day in 1774.
Yeah.
Britain passed the Coercive Act against Massachusetts.
What they got against Massachusetts?
Well, we don't want coercion. Gotta nip it in the bud.
Nip it.
On this day in 1797, Nathaniel Briggs patented a washing machine.
People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry.
Yeah.
All right, Lizzo. On this day in 1834, the U.S. Senate voted to censure President Jackson for the removal of federal deposits from the Bank of the United States. Naughty. Don't be messing with the cash now.
Moving that money around there in sort of a nefarious way, not frowned upon.
On this day in 1865, outdoor advertising legislation was enacted in New York. The law banned painting on stones, rocks, and trees.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation right there.
No. Now, the billboards we have around here, most of them are the electronic ones where there's like, it rotates. Like there's four different ads on the outdoor billboards around here.
On this day in 1910, the first seaplane took off from water at Martinique, France. The pilot was Henri Fabre.
Oh, related to Nanette Fabre?
Distant relative, obviously. On this day in 1921,
hey,
U.S. President Warren Harding named William Howard Taft as Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court.
It's a big job. It's a big job there for old Willie T.
On this day in 1922, Bradley A. Fisk patented a microfilm reading device.
Did you ever go to the library and look at the old microfilms when you're doing research? That's the old days. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Yeah. I dealt with microfilm a lot, especially when I worked at Chase Manhattan Bank. We used to keep all the receipts and all that stuff and inquiries, and you'd have to go to the microfiche, as they called it, or the microfilm department to have these microfilms pulled and then copied. Oh yeah, it was a big old mess back then.
Oh, technology. Thank you.
On this day in 1947, the American Helicopter Society revealed a flying device that could be strapped to a person's body.
Really? No thanks.
Must not have worked out too well. I don't see it around anymore.
No, I see some jetpacks by the beach and stuff. People do those things, but that's about as far as it goes.
On this day in 1962, the United States Air Force announced research into the use of lasers to intercept missiles and satellites.
Wow. So spacey. And good morning, Kevin Spacey.
On this day in 1967, Raymond Burr starred in a TV movie entitled Ironside. The movie would later be turned into a television series.
Yes. Raymond Burr.
On this day in 1974...
Oh, yes, they call him the Streak.
a streaker ran onto the set of The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
And that was all the rage then, man. You were watching the Academy Awards, a baseball game, a football game, streaking.
Look at all that we have going on in society right now. Look at all that we have happening.
Do I have to?
And all of the nefarious things out there. And back then in the mid-'70s, the biggest thing we had to deal with were people getting naked and running where they shouldn't be running.
Boogity, boogity.
Pale in comparison to what we're dealing with right now.
Boogity, boogity. There was actually a streaker at a college football game that I was at about 4 months ago. Old school. Look at him go.
On this day in 1986... more than 6,000 radio stations of all formats played this song, We Are the World, simultaneously at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time.
Well, that was 1986, you say? Mm-hmm. Wow. It's amazing. I remember that. Like it was not yesterday, but didn't seem that long ago, 1986.
Well, if you go onto YouTube, there is actually a video of how they made it, and that was actually made, they had, I believe it was the American Music Awards. Mm-hmm. And when they got done with the American Music Awards, these artists loaded up in limos and went to that studio and recorded that song all night long. And then they pressed it into what is the finalized version. And that was used to help hunger in Africa.
Yeah.
All the artists getting together and raising awareness.
Yeah. One station here in Chicago, I think, played it for a full hour to try to bring more awareness to it. So, wow, it's amazing.
On this day in 1990, Jesse Owens received the Congressional Gold Medal from U.S. President George H.W. Bush.
Mm-hmm. He was great. Jesse Owens, for sure.
On this day in 2002, the exhibit The Italians, 3 Centuries of Italian Art, opened at the National Gallery of Australia.
Australia, 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 we love you. Amen.
Thank you. Bon, Mamma Mia.
It's interesting, though, they went all the way, though, to
it's a long
Australia
drive
for that.
Or it's a long flight, rather. It's a long way to get there.
A long flight.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for birthdays?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Celebrating a birthday today. One of many. Lady Gaga is 37. Reba McEntire, the queen of country music, is 68. Julia Stiles is 42. Kate Gosselin is 48. Derek Carr, now of the New Orleans Saints, is 32. Vince Vaughn, 53. Dreezy is 28. In the world of NASCAR, we kid because we care. Chris Myers is celebrating a birthday today.
Well, happy birthday, one and all, on this Tuesday, March 28th, 2023.